Deal TV, learn and earn.
Legal requirements for registration of NGOs in Uganda. Registration of NGOs in Uganda is seen by many as a complex process given the documentation involved. With the right information, the process should not be complex. This episode provides an easy way to understand the requirements for registration of NGOs in Uganda. In Uganda, the non-governmental organizations are regulated by the Non-Governmental Organizations Registration Act Cap 113 as amended in 2006. The Act governs the registration, management and governance of non-governmental organizations. Here are the requirements. 1. You need a letter of recommendation written by Local Council One Chairperson, LCI. This must recommend the organization. On the same letter, the chairman LC2, LC3 and resident. Top of form. Bottom of form. District Commissioner, RDC, should each endorse their signatures and stamp. The organization can use the LCI from the area where it has its headquarters. 2. The organization should have written recommendation of 2 sureties or recommenders who should each write separately recommending the organization. Technical areas of activities need recommendation from the concerned line ministry, department. 3. The organization should have a work plan of its activities to be carried out for the first year of the term of operation. The activities or work plan for the 1 year should have budget, that is how much is to be spent on each of those activities. This is tentative budget. The budget should reflect source of funds and the work plan. 4. The organization should have 2 copies of the Constitution or bylaws or rules and should have a provision in it specifying the purposes for which the funds are to be utilized. 5. The NGO should have an organizational chart, administrative chart showing its leadership. 6. Every indigenous NGO is to pay Uganda shillings 40,000 / registration fee. 7. Every organization is to fill form which should be duly completed and signed by at least 2 promoters. The names of the promoters should be printed in front of their signatures on the form. Promoters are the owners of the organization. 8. The organization should bring all its papers, application on a spring manila file cover. 9. On the cover of file, please print in capital letters the names of the organization, the address, box number and telephone contacts in case you are required to appear before the NGO board. 10. The organization should write a letter to the Secretary NGO board specifying the area of their operation. This is what will be printed on the permit once granted. 11. Every organization should reserve its name with the Registrar General's office at the Ministry of Justice. This is done to make sure that no other organization will use your names or the name of the organization is free to be used by you. In case of subsequent change of names, a reservation must be done again. 12. If the organization has a foreigner working with it or the foreigner is coming to join them, the organization should read Section 13 of Non-Governmental Act 2006, amended, and the relevant regulations. 13. A foreigner coming to assist the organization by staying with it should bring his/her, a. photocopies of his/her qualification papers, b. present immigration status in the country, c. a letter from his/her home government that the subject has no criminal record, that is he or she is of good conduct, d. a letter appointing the subject to the position he or she is going to occupy, e. all organizations seeking entry permits, visas for foreigners on behalf of the NGO should get endorsement, recommendations from the NGO board. This is to make sure that the board, secretariat is aware of such immigrants working with NGOs and the information of such immigrants is available on the NGO's file. 14. The NGO board sits once every month. Any registering NGO should expect its certificate of incorporation after a month of lodging its papers. This is not always the case and there is often an applications backlog and it's not a guarantee that an application for registration will be completed in a month. 15. All lawyers, consultants are advised to come with at least one of the officials of the organization being represented. The Secretariat will not welcome documents without their officials. Collection of permits, Incorporation certificates is by any official of the organization. Any other parties sent for that purpose should have authority letters from the organization. 16. Every constitution must in addition to other requirements have a dissolution clause. 17. When an organization closes down, even temporarily, the NGO board should be informed. International, foreign, NGOs in Uganda 1. A notarized recommendation letter from the Home Office from the country of origin where the organization is already in operation or from their embassy in Uganda as the promoters are already in Uganda. 2. A notarized letter from the headquarters of the organization authorizing the opening of a branch in Uganda. 3. Recommendation from the diplomatic mission of Uganda in the country from which the organization is originating. 4. Memorandum of Understanding between the organization and the relevant line ministry in Uganda. 5. Photocopies of immigration status of the promoters. 6. Photocopies of qualification papers and evidence of work experience of volunteers coming to work in Uganda. 7. A certified notarized copy of the constitution of the organization which should have been certified by the Home Office in the country of origin. 8. Curriculum vitae of the promoters and expatriates working for the organization in Uganda. 9. Certificates of good conduct from their government for the people coming to work in Uganda. 10. Registration fees of $75 requirements for renewal of registration certificates of both Uganda and foreign NGOs 1. Application for renewal letter 2. A filled-in form of 3. A recommendation letter from the resident district commissioner from the area they were operating in to confirm their operations. 4. Annual report 5. Financial report, audited accounts. 6. Minutes of annual general meeting, plus the attendance signed by all people present. 7. A work plan and an itemized budget. Note that the fees mentioned are bound to change when it is deemed necessary by the government.